Hi everyone, you are welcome to the Dietary Factor yet again to learn about health and lifestyle. This is a show for you. Everyone that has subscribed and liked, thank you. I see in the comment section, everyone that is always commenting, I see you. Thank you for your comments, thank you for your feedback. Ensure you leave a comment, don't just pass by. Ensure you leave a trail wherever you pass. So you can leave a comment, you can leave a like, and ensure you subscribe to the channel. My name is Wyglad Mary, and today we shall be continuing to talk about iron. I remember last time we had a conversation about a boomba, and we talked about iron, but we talked about it in a shallow way. However, today we shall add some little detail to it briefly so that you can get to understand what is iron, why is it needed in our bodies, who needs more iron than who, what are the sources of iron. So we shall look at those 4 areas majorly. So now, one thing you should know when talking about nutrition and nutrients, there are 2 major nutrients. They are macronutrients and then they are micronutrients. Macronutrients, as you hear the word macro, they are needed in huge amounts. You look at things like protein, carbohydrates, all these are needed in a huge amount. But when you look at micronutrients, these are needed in minute amounts. So you can find a recommendation of a particular mineral or a particular vitamin to be 7 milligrams. So they are really needed in small quantities compared to macronutrients, which are needed in very huge quantities. Iron is a micronutrient and it is a mineral, which is very necessary for growth and development. So one thing you should know is that iron is used by our bodies in the development of hemoglobin. So hemoglobin is found in our red blood cells, and it helps in movement of oxygen from the lungs to all other parts of our bodies. So in other words, if you're not having enough iron, then you do not have enough hemoglobin. In other words, oxygen is moving at a lesser rate in your body. You have less movement of oxygen to your body because remember, we need iron to form hemoglobin in our blood cells to aid in the movement of oxygen in all parts of our bodies. So I think how important iron is to our bodies. So because all of us need oxygen in all parts of our bodies to aid us in quite a number of areas. Because remember we said it's a micronutrient, but however micro it is very, very important. You know, sometimes when you hear micronutrient, you may think it is, I can do without it since it's a micronutrient. But you know that there are severe illnesses that have been caused by ignoring of these micronutrients. Some illnesses can even cause to death just because you have ignored these micronutrients. So it is very important to always have iron incorporated in our diet. Now, if I may talk about, for example, when you talk about iron in our bodies, do you know that your body cannot synthesize iron? You can only get iron from the food you eat. I know the body can synthesize amino acids. There's some amino acids you may not really have to eat because your body synthesizes them. But when you talk about iron, the body can't synthesize it. It can only store it. So that means that you must intake a food that contains iron. If you do not, the body will not magically create it from anywhere. So now let's give a scenario whereby, let's say you have low iron or you're taking in food with low iron. What will happen? So short term, what will happen is the body will use the iron that's stored in your muscles, in your marrows. So it will use that iron. But however, when it is prolonged long term, you may end up being anemic. That means that your body is having less hemoglobin to move the oxygen into different areas of your body. So that's when you are found to be anemic. So what happens when you're anemic? You feel a lot of weakness, body weakness. You'll feel fatigue. You'll have concentration issues. you find someone having really a low concentration span, that is usually because you're not having enough oxygen going into your brain and all. So you feel confused, you feel fuzzy, dizzy. There was a particular comment and a meme I did see one time whereby someone was saying that, why is it that very pretty girls always have anemia and they're always dizzy, they're always tired quickly? So now in this video, you'll be able to know the foods that you can gift your girlfriend, gift your lady in case she's having these anemic issues and you wonder why she's always feeling dizzy, why she's always feeling drowsy, always sleepy. Sometimes she's not just sleepy at all, she could be anemic. So we talked about what iron is, how it is necessary for our bodies. Now, another question that we were supposed to answer, the third question, was who needs more iron than the other? One, we all need iron. However, women need more iron than men. Even teens need more iron. Female teens need more iron than male teenagers. So I know for teenagers, they have a puberty. There is puberty for teenagers, and there is a growth spurt that is required. And that growth spurt you require appropriate amounts of iron. However, still, ladies will need more iron than the men, or the teen ladies will need more iron than the gentlemen. So one, it's because ladies undergo menstruation. So menstruation will cause a lady to need more iron compared to a man. Men don't menstruate. Even when the men say they are women, some of them really don't menstruate. So there is no way they will need more iron than women. However, just to note, this is something you should always note, is that when you bleed, bleeding will always cause you to lose red blood cells. It will always cause you to lose your hemoglobin, which cannot easily be replaced. So you're losing blood in a form that can't easily be replaced. So in any kind of bleeding, you always need to replace your iron. Remember, you eat it. So every time you lose blood, it's a form or a call to you to ensure you have an iron-rich diet. For example, not only menstruation, because I've already said women need more iron than men. Yes, that's noted. But what if this scenario whereby, remember I've talked about bleeding and or losing blood and how you reduce on your red blood cells. So now, for example, if we have a male who donates blood more often than a lady, they may need also more iron, because remember, you're losing blood. Donation, if you're a frequent donor of blood, it is very advisable for you to ensure you have iron-rich diets, because you are losing blood. I remember we've said you're losing red blood cells, you're losing your hemoglobin, and you need this iron to form this hemoglobin in your body. Another group of people are the pregnant women. Pregnant women need more iron than everyone, in other words. Why? Because pregnant women have a baby in them, that's obvious. But the baby in them is always depending on the mom for nutrients. All nutrients are dependent on the mother. So that's why we usually say the mother is eating for two, because the nutrients are being used by her, they are also being used by the baby. So if you're having less iron, meaning your baby is also suffering, because iron is needed by the baby for fetal brain development. So if you're having less iron in your body, your brain, the fetus or the baby's brain is not developing. So it is very important to have sufficient amounts of iron in your diet. I know pregnant women, when you go for antenatal care, they always prescribe iron supplements, which you always take. And also these iron-rich foods that are always available and in abundance that you can always take. So as a pregnant lady, it is very, very important for you to take note of your iron intake. And usually there is a very famous TikToker or Instagrammer that's called Dr. Nyamurungi. I know very many of you have come across Dr. Nyamurungi. So Dr. Nyamurungi was talking about folic acid. So folic acid is also a micronutrient, and she was advising ladies that pre-pregnancy, even before you get pregnant, the ultimate way to have an ultimate planned kid, as she said, is to take folic acid 3 months before conception. It's required that you always have iron already in your body before you are pregnant, just like folic acid, like how Dr. Nyamurungi was explaining to us. So if you are a mother out there, or you are planning to be a mother, the best way to have a planned kid is to have the best nutrients, so that when the baby comes, they're actually planned for. They find the nutrients there that they can use for development. As you've seen, iron is very important, and we've looked at the people who mostly need iron. However, there are people who have GI issues or gastrointestinal issues. So now when they have these issues, they are not able to absorb some nutrients well. So in case you have a GI issue, please reach out to your doctor so that you can get to know how you can incorporate your meal with iron. Another group of people who may suffer or who need more iron than others could be people who are vegetarians or who only do veg diets. Why? Now, let me go straight to this. What are the sources of iron? We have mainly non-heme iron, and we also have heme iron. So, in simple terms, non-heme iron is mainly gotten from plants. So when you look at heme iron, it's mainly gotten from animals. Plants don't have heme iron. Plants only have non-heme iron. But however, animals can have both. Non-heme iron cannot easily be absorbed in the body, but heme iron can easily be absorbed in the body. Let me make it simple. Animal iron, or iron gotten from animals, can easily be absorbed in the body, but iron that is gotten from plants cannot easily be absorbed in the body. So when you look at animal sources of iron, we have mainly organ meats. Organ meats are a very good source of iron. We look at things like kidney, we look at things like liver. I know some people eat the heart as well. So if you're in areas that eat the heart as well, so these organ meats are very good sources of iron. So some people may be shocked at that heart, but yeah, very many people do eat it in different areas. You can go in different areas. Also, things like offals, they are very good sources of iron. That's why sometimes when a lady has given birth, nakawere, they always be like, and they all make for her these offals because they are rich in iron as well. The plant sources of iron, you can look at things like spinach, very good source of iron. You look at broccoli. I love broccoli. Broccoli is rich in a number of nutrients. It's a nutrient-dense food. It's one of those nutrient-dense foods. It has quite a number of micronutrients in it. So broccoli is a very good source of iron. Then you look at, did you know that also chocolate is a good source of iron? So not only chocolates, dark chocolate specifically. So dark chocolate is a very good source of iron. So now there are quite a number of sources of iron, plant sources. Also you look at legumes, very good source of iron as well. When it comes to animal sources like red meats, they have very many health implications associated with overconsumption of these meats. So you are encouraged to scale down the consumption of red meat, however much it's rich in iron, you scale it down. And if you can go and consume more of the vegetables, it is very much advisable. So you are encouraged. If you're pregnant, don't forget to have iron sources, to be eating these iron-rich foods even way before you get pregnant, because when you take them way before you get pregnant, you prevent low birth weight, you prevent premature babies. So as a lady, the best way to have planned kids, have your iron early, have your micronutrients early. If you are a lady, please ensure you have your iron early. Both ladies and men, we all need iron. So ensure everyone to consume iron in the iron-rich foods that I have let you know. Thank you for watching. I hope you have learned something today. Ensure you share with a friend, share with a loved one, comment in the comment section so that I can see you are watching. Thank you so much and have a blessed week.